Work order is the center of everything on the CMMS. You use work order to do three major things. The first thing we'll use work order for is to actually carry out a job on the platform. The second thing we use work order for is to collect or receive materials from the warehouse. The third thing we'll be using work order for is to make a requisition. Let's start with the first thing. When we want to carry out a job, the first thing we do is to go ahead and create new work order. We have this little thing here that looks like a drop down, and this is to give us the map of all the assets on the platform. One thing you will discover at the heart of the work order is the assets. You need to specify the assets that you are working with or that you want to work on. So when you drop down here, it gives you all the location available. You have location and also assets mixed in between. So you can also specify if you want to go deep down into a location. Once you go in, you see all the assets and also locations inside those assets. So when you select a particular asset, it becomes active. That's the asset you are working with. You could also decide to do it manually by directly typing the assets into this section here by saying diesel. So once you type it, it's also the same thing here. It's kind of faster when you type your asset directly into the text area. The next part is to describe the work that you want to do. So you go ahead and describe the work. Let's say replacement of parts. The next section is to specify the work class. The work class is what categorizes the work that you are doing. And these classes are very important. These classes are what determine the kind of task you are doing on the asset. And we have them grouped into several tasks. We have construction, corrective maintenance, and the list goes on. So you can pick exactly what kind of maintenance you are doing on the particular asset. We then have the open date, which is when you are doing the job, followed by your department and units. By default is tied to your departments based on the settings when your profile is being created. You can go ahead and provide work details. This is where you can have the scope of work documented for the particular work you're about to do. Now, everything we're talking about now is just on the open section. You still have several sections to go. So let's look at the warehouse inventory. Under this same work order, you have a section called warehouse inventory.